Hello, welcome to the Lost Pixel Vault. These are the source discs for a game called Tarot that was never released on the Amiga. I was 14. I'd forgotten that I'd developed this game, and I found this D-Paint image by Jim, the game designer. He said, "Here's a brief synopsis of my game, which is now called Tarot. Chaos reigns throughout the land. A magician appears to our hero and tells him that he only can save the planet from impending doom. He tells him of 3 magical stones, the Sun, Moon and Star Stone, that must be returned to their rightful place in the Temple of Harmony. The only way into the 4th dimension where all the action is to take place is through the crystal, which the magician has conjured up with the last of his power. He then disappears. So begins the adventure." "Phone me," said Jim at the end. There were 22 cards, so we were going to make 22 levels. We got around to making about 6. Jim wrote the design and I wrote the engine. These were painted in deluxe paint, frame by frame, on a 7 MHz machine. This is the source code, 2,483 lines of 68,000 assembly. I asked Claude AI to review it. AI said it wasn't normal for a 14-year-old to have written this. It also found some bugs and said that these were typical in commercial games of the time. So now comes for the big test. I'm going to run it on WinUAE and see if it actually builds and runs. So here I'm loading in the floppy disk that had been extracted, and it's going to boot up into Amiga DOS. And there it is, Amiga DOS, with my custom mouse pointer with LA on it. And then it's loading into the assembler. And here's the source code. So first we need to assemble it. And assembly takes 2 passes. So let's see if it gets through it. Yes, so that's built. So now we can actually run that code and see if anything happens. Okay, so we've got something on screen which is a copper list, and that's a nice color gradient there. The floppy disk is still loading. And now we've got the actual main screen here. So I can see in the very front some sprites, which are those funny looking rocks. And then we've got the main character's animation. And then at the back left, I can see I was trying to work out how to get the main character to walk behind the trees and scenery. So yeah, that's successful. It's running with different coloured backdrops there. And then I did find some gameplay sequences here, look, so we can see some more of the animation and characters and different levels. These are some of the characters that Jim had created for the game. And there's the main character's walking animation. Then you can see how the background is built up through blocks, and there's a nice tree there. And then as a bonus, I found this little demo on the disc as well. This leads nicely to the sprite scaling technique that I used in my later games. Here you can see Ferrari, an unreleased Amiga game, coming here soon. That's it this time. I'll see you in the next video.